Have you ever been embarrassed about your family? I'm sure any of us with an ounce of honesty and self-examination have to say, yep. Now, maybe that's a distant memory or something that you experienced when you were in middle school or high school or college. Or maybe it's a current reality in your life, something that at every family gathering and public holiday is something that you experience. Well, Jesus also had a family, and in Matthew chapter 12, they go to him, his mother and his sisters and his brothers, and they send word ahead. They can't access him because the crowd is too big. And they tell me that your family's here. And they seem to think that that will gain them a certain level of access to him. And Jesus responds with something that's really quite astounding. In Matthew 12, verse 49, he says, and stretching out his hands toward his disciples, he said, "Here are my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother." It's really astounding when you consider what Jesus is saying here. He's saying that anyone who believes in him by faith is welcomed into his family, that they are his siblings, as it were, that by faith and by their union with him in the gospel, we're brought into the family of God, and he becomes, as it were, our brother. And we might think that, well, okay, we're brought into his family, but maybe there's a sense in which Jesus, kind of like we were with our families, or maybe are with our families, where he's embarrassed by us, ashamed of us. The book of Hebrews adds to the statement that Jesus makes in Matthew 12, and it says something quite astounding. It says that Jesus was not ashamed to call us brothers. Jesus doesn't respond to you the way we so often kind of respond to maybe some of our family members. He's not embarrassed. He's not ashamed. His heart is such towards his people that he loves you and he loves his family. He died so that you and I and all who call on his name in faith to save us, he died that we might be made brothers and sisters. It's not like Jesus wound up with us as his family and it wasn't something, it was something outside of his control that he just had to deal with. No, he willingly, zealously, eagerly laid down his life so that you might be his brother or that you might be his sister, that he might warmly welcome you into his family, that he might welcome you to his table, that he might welcome you into his home and there fellowship with you forever. I think it's astounding that he's not ashamed to call us brothers or sisters, that he's the brother who loves every member of his family and is not ashamed of you.